Hello, and welcome back to Ignite Church Daily Devotional. Today I'm going to talk to you about Psalms 23, probably the most well known psalm and passage of scripture in the Bible. Let's read it together. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. King David understood the role of a shepherd very well. David was a shepherd before he became a king. He spent his days tending the sheep in the fields. Today, we really struggle with this concept of shepherd because we have no knowledge. We are completely unfamiliar with the job of a shepherd. In this psalm, we learn that the shepherd cares for the sheep, he protects the sheep, and he abides with the sheep. David is comparing his need for God to the sheep, to that of the sheep with the shepherd, and comparing God's role in his life to the role of the shepherd in the lives of the sheep. The first role of the shepherd is to care for the sheep. He cares for the sheep by guiding them, leading them, and directing them. The shepherd leads the sheep to places where they can find safety and security and be fed and drink from the living water, to drink water, and the sheep find security and safety, and they're able to grow strong and reproduce. God leads us to places where we can grow, where we can rest in him, we can feed on his word, drink from the living water, and grow spiritually. God directs our path if we submit to him, and he will take us where he wants us to go. He'll make our path straight. Just like the sheep, though, sometimes we wander. We kind of wander off and we get lost and we take the wrong path. And God will be there when we call out to him to go and find us and lead us back into the fold and into the flock where we find safety and security again. The second role of the shepherd is to protect the sheep. The shepherd protects the sheep from all enemies. When surrounded, he will fight for them. He will lead them through the scary times and places to safety. The shepherd will not leave the sheep. The scripture says, through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For God is always with us. He'll walk with us through the valley when we feel surrounded on all sides and it is dark and we cannot see our way out. I remember when I was a little girl and I would go to bed at night and they would turn the lights out and it was dark. And it was really scary and you would feel like you were surrounded on all sides by monsters. But as soon as somebody turned on the light, the fear went away. It's the same with God. When you are in bad times, hard times, dark times, fearful times, stressful times, when you're walking in the valley, if you seek God, he will show up and his presence will illuminate the dark spaces and the fear will go away. He rarely rescues us out of the valley, but generally leads us through it. The way we draw close to him during the valley is to read our word and to spend time with him and to seek him and to pray. The reason he generally does not just bring us out of the valley but leads us through the valley is because we will begin to draw close to him. We'll learn his ways and our faith will increase. The shepherd carries a rod for protection, but a staff for correction of the sheep. The shepherd protects the sheep, but often it is in the valleys that we are corrected and growth occurs. And lastly, the shepherd abides with the sheep. He stays with them. He spends most of his time with them. The shepherd provided for the sheep even in the midst of the trial. He fed them in the valley. He comforted them. He patched up their wounds. He soothed things over for them. He was there for them. He was always with them. We have a promise in this psalm that God prepares a table for us in the presence of our enemies. He'll make a way for us no matter what the circumstances are. He will meet all of our needs and show up on the scene if we ask Him. He may not meet all of your wants, but He will be present and you will be fulfilled as you seek Him and grow in Him. At the end of this psalm, we are given a promise of abiding with Him forever, not just on this earth, but forevermore. What a glorious promise. Not only will we walk every moment of this life with Him, He will take care of me, He will protect me, He will always be with me. But I get to be in His presence on this earth and beyond this life. What a comfort that is. I hope that these words have been comforting to you. I encourage you to seek Him and grow in Him during this time. God has given us a time for most of us to have rest and to be able to seek Him in the Word and in prayer, and I encourage you to do that. Take this opportunity to grow in Him. Thank you for joining me.